What do athletes do after retiring? Do they have additional income or do they just live by their savings? It seems that Christian McCaffrey has thought about it and has some big plans. Number 10. Is football McCaffrey's family business? Actually, Christian McCaffrey isn't the first man in his family to play for the NFL. His father, Ed McCaffrey, was a wide receiver in the NFL for 13 seasons and played for the New York Giants, the San Francisco 49ers, and the Denver Broncos. Simultaneously, as Christian was learning how to walk, his father won Super Bowls as a Pro Bowl wide receiver. After making his name at Stanford, Ed was a third-round draft pick in the 1991 NFL Draft. In New York, Ed came off the bench for 3 years to provide the Giants with strong hands and an ability to get themselves down the field in a pickle. However, he rarely got to play when things mattered, and in 1994, he packed his bags for San Francisco. In 1 year with San Francisco, Ed had a similar role that he did in New York. This time, however, it was one of the greatest teams ever assembled. Ed rode the bench en route to a Super Bowl in San Francisco before packing his bags once again. In 1995, he joined an aging John Elway just in time for the end of his career. Rather than staying on the bench, Ed quickly got himself a starting role, playing an integral part in the Broncos' back-to-back Super Bowls to end Elway's career. In 1998, he was rewarded with his first and only Pro Bowl. In 2003, however, he retired at 35. Ed is a story of perseverance on the field, but off of it, he taught his son a different type. Number 9. Dad's impact on little Christian. Christian discussed seeing his father in the NFL as a young child and how that affected him as an adult. To Christian, the success that his father saw on the football field was inspirational enough. It's extremely encouraging. I mean, he took care of his body extremely well when he played and still does now. He hardly ever drinks, if he does. Doesn't smoke. He's on top of his body, especially when he played. He was almost a psychopath about what he ate, when he slept, when he woke up, and when he trained. So to see where he's at now is extremely encouraging because he feels fine. His energy is great. He looks good. So yeah, I'd say it's very encouraging, he said. Number 8. From football to the music industry. Even though this man has a long NFL career ahead of him, every athlete should think about the future, right? At some point, the sports career ends and there are two ways. Either they have a huge fat saving account that will be more than enough to live the best life, or they gotta find another path to get an income. However, McCaffrey has a secret talent that may give him another career option. During the offseason, McCaffrey dabbles in music and works as a pianist, songwriter, and music producer. When ESPN reported Sam Elapor visited him at a Denver recording studio, McCaffrey and his bandmates were in the middle of a 90-minute recording session. As they laid down a pop or hip-hop track, McCaffrey put the finishing touches on it, adding layers, as he calls it. Don't look for McCaffrey to take on a role as a lead singer anytime soon, though. The running back says singing is the downfall of his music career. McCaffrey tells Alapor, a childhood neighbor, played the piano and told him he could get all the girls if he learned an instrument. So McCaffrey, who recalls being in 8th grade at the time, said, "Sign me up," and started taking lessons. The pair later performed at a talent show and won, taking home a cash prize. McCaffrey's interest grew in high school when he jammed with friends and decided they, and I quote, should do something like this. If performing doesn't work out for the NFL player, he could become a music producer. McCaffrey says producing music and growing a song from nothing is a lot of fun. Modern technology could allow him to play any instrument via a computer and a keyboard. McCaffrey says, "You make something that you like every once in a while." When asked if we'll see a McCaffrey album one day, he calls the idea really cool, but admits he's still learning. So if an album happens, it won't be for a while. So far, the 23-year-old has learned to play instruments by watching others. But he says he's committed to learning how to read sheet music and classically train himself. Number 7. His musical inspirations. When asked what kind of music he listens to, the running back responded, "There's a guy right now who's probably my favorite. Tyler Child's a country artist. I love his sound. I love Mac Miller. I'm a big Drake fan. I love Bob Dylan, Johnny Cash, Bob Marley. I probably have the most versatile playlist in the world, from country to rap to classic rock to classical." Alright, he doesn't have bad taste in music, but can anybody tell us why Bob Marley is the last one he named? It seems that the "No Woman No Cry" part comes after Drake's "Yeah, they wishin' and wishin' and wishin' and wishin'." That's not great, little guy. You gotta sort out your priorities. Number 6. His guilty pleasure snack. Everybody has their favorite snacks. Some love sweet and chocolate, while others are always craving something salty and hot. And guess what the guilty pleasure snack is for Christian McCaffrey? I do eat a cheat meal every now and again, usually on Saturday night. I'm not a huge sweets guy, luckily, but I do love sushi. And then Cool Ranch Doritos are definitely my guilty pleasure. Those and Oreos. I can't keep either at home. If I have one Dorito, I'll eat the entire king-size bag. Zero self-control. Considering the fact that Doritos are the greatest mass-produced snacks in the world, and they will always be the perfect snack chip, his point of view is fair enough. Crunchy, salty, flavor-packed, and heavily tasting snack is all we need for happiness, right? Before we continue, make sure you like the video if you've enjoyed it up to this point. Number 5. Bruce Lee helped him. Christian McCaffrey has utilized some of Bruce Lee's philosophy on the football field. Inspired by the martial artist's famous quote about being like water, the running back has become a multi-purpose weapon in the NFL, capable of carrying the ball and catching passes with equal ease. It has a lot to do with fluidity and being able to adapt. I think when you're running through a hole and you're hit in certain different ways, you have to be able to move and change and make people miss. You've got to be able to adapt to your environment. It all relates, McCaffrey explained. While Bruce Lee's lessons fortified his mind, McCaffrey hasn't neglected his body either. According to Jones, the running back also used martial arts to strengthen his core and improve his flexibility and reactionary skills. Number 4. What's his pump-up song? As several studies report, many athletes turn to music before their competition to help them get in the zone. Plugging in headphones before performing or working out can help regulate emotions and mood, because music reshapes emotional and psychological arousal, allowing it to be used as either a stimulant or as a sedative. Loud, upbeat music will help an athlete get psyched up, whereas soft music can help them calm down. The psychology of this makes sense. Music can be a comfort zone for anyone headed to the field. However, when one thinks about this study, it makes McCaffrey's song of choice a strange one. Getting ready to play a musical game with TV host Jimmy Fallon's house band, The Roots, Fallon asked the all-pro running back what his pump-up song was. He did not go toward hip-hop, hard rock, or other upbeat staples. Instead, he went to Vesteros. To the TV star's delight, McCaffrey said one of his favorite songs to listen to is Light of the Seven, a piano-based track from Game of Thrones. There's nothing wrong with McCaffrey's choice. It's merely another quirk of his already impressive story. After an all-pro season like he just had, however, the real question people should be asking isn't why he chose that song. Instead, it should be why are more people not listening to instrumental television music? Number 3. Dating life. Christian McCaffrey is currently dating former Miss Universe Olivia Culpo. They apparently got their start thanks to Instagram, where they started following one another back in April 2019. At some point in May, they hooked up and began dating. Then in July, photos surfaced of the pair holding hands while vacationing together in Mexico. By October, the two were publicly acknowledging their relationship in various ways. Culpo donned McCaffrey's jersey at a Panthers game. In November, McCaffrey posted an Instagram story about supporting Culpo's Sports Illustrated swimsuit shoot. Since then, they have been spotted together numerous times. But actually, McCaffrey isn't the first NFL player who Culpo has dated. Culpo had what was apparently a short-lived relationship with Tim Tebow. Although Tebow is now pursuing a career in the MLB, at the time it was the Philadelphia Eagles' third-string quarterback. Post-breakup accounts revealed that the romance never got very serious and that the two still had a friendly relationship. Why isn't he playing for the Panthers? McCaffrey entered the 2020 season looking to build off his career-best campaign, but unfortunately, injuries have marred it. The all-pro running back has struggled to find his footing as he has only taken the field in 3 games through the first 14 weeks of the season. McCaffrey suffered a foot injury in the Week 2 loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that forced him to miss the next 6 games. The 24-year-old returned in Week 9 action against the Kansas City Chiefs, but suffered a shoulder injury in the contest. Since then, McCaffrey has been on the mend as he's set to miss his 6th straight game and 12th overall. He missed the first 3 weeks after Week 9 due to the shoulder ailment, followed by the last 3 contests because of a quad injury that came about in practice during Week 13. Before the 2020 campaign, McCaffrey proved to be quite durable as he played in all 48 regular season games over his first 3 years. The Carolina Panthers have handled the situation with much precaution, given its importance to their long-term future. With the playoff out of the picture entirely, Carolina could lean toward keeping him off the field for the rest of the year. Number 1. Non-football hobbies. McCaffrey did an interview with GQ about 10 things he can't live without. During that, he talked about a few of his hidden talents and hobbies. Some may surprise you. McCaffrey's hobbies include music, which we have already talked about, as well as longboarding and cooking. According to McCaffrey, he doesn't like walking or jogging to places. He'll either run or use the longboard to get where he needs to go quickly. McCaffrey also has a grill that he cooks meats like chicken and steak on. He talked about the importance of eating well and learned to cook for himself. As an NFL player, it makes sense. What do you think about Christian McCaffrey? Let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video, and thanks for watching.